Hey guys, I'm going to review Suits Season 6, Episode 5, called Trust. So this episode we see Mike agrees to the deal like he did last episode, and now when they're going into prison and they're in the car, you see three of them are trying to find out what's the best way to get Kevin to speak and to get William Strutter out. Also, we find out that the person Sean Cahill wants to get in is William Strutter, the guy who we saw a couple episodes ago who tried to get Harvey as a representative for his firm and to take him on as a client. So we see that Harvey says to Cahill and Mike that he's going to take Strutter on as a client, and then they're going to cut him off both ways, where he's going to get on his defense and Mike is going to get all the dirt on him, and then they're going to definitely get William Strutter the way Sean Cahill wants to. But Sean has a problem with it as he doesn't want to collude and he doesn't want to get into any dirty business since he does work for the government. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and I'm looking forward to see how that happens. And we see later on in the episode that Harvey ghosts him. He's like, "You knew that I would want to take you on as a client after I found out that your son-in-law is in prison." And it's William Strutter, that old guy's like, "Yeah, I did. So now are you going to be my lawyer?" And Harvey's like, "Yeah, sure, okay." So we see that Harvey, in order to gain William Strutter's trust, he first needs to fight Sean Cahill in order to prove himself, so William Strutter will also think as Harvey as a good lawyer. So he does want to get William Strutter's company indicted so he can prove to him that he can get that off. So now that situation kind of creates a friendly banner between Harvey and Cahill, where Cahill's like, "I don't want to do this," and Harvey's like, "Well, you have to do it because I have to prove to Strutter that he has my trust and I have his." And then Sean's like, "Fine, if you really want it, I'm gonna go really hard." And then he does some licensing shit, and then Harvey's like, "Lewis, can you fix it?" And Lewis fixes it. And then finally, by the end of the episode, Strutter does get his confidence in Harvey. And I also like how Cahill this season is not the hard ass he was last season, and that he's kind of into it, what Harvey wants to do, but he's still going to play the character where he's going to be a bit restricted. He's going to keep reminding Harvey, and I think the show needs that to show what's on the line. And I really enjoyed how by the end of the episode, both of them are like holding the drink, and Harvey's like, "Let's go have a drink," and he's like, "Let's have the drink inside, because from now on, if anyone sees us having drinks outside, we're screwed, buddy." I kind of like that, and how both of them are in cahoots now. And honestly, I enjoy the storyline outside the prison so much more than in prison with Mike, Kevin, and Frank. Even though they are doing it well, I think what's happening outside is more interesting to me, since there's only so much you can do with the three of them in prison. Now what I mean from that is, so this episode, Mike gets back in, he's talking to Kevin, Kevin's like, "Why are you not telling me this? Why are you not telling me that?" And Mike did that the last episode, and Mike later on in this episode says, "Why aren't you telling me this? Why aren't you telling me that?" Like Kevin finds out something that Mike did, like he wasn't actually in the infirmary, and then Mike has to be like, "No, Kevin, no, I was." And then later Mike is like, "You know what, I went into solitary confinement and you still won't tell me. Tell me, Kevin, tell me." And he's like, "No, I can't." And then by the end of the episode, that's the only interesting thing I got out from today's episode, was that we finally found out what Kevin did. Part of it, not the important part that Mike needs, but what got him into prison. And you know what? For my last review, I was kinda right when I said, "Mike, what if he killed 10 people? Are you still gonna trust him?" He did almost kinda kill a guy. And I see why the writers didn't make him kill a guy, because if he did kill a guy, yeah, there's no coming back from that even if he were drunk. So they were like, "You know what, let's just have him almost kill a guy. That sounds better, right guys?" Yeah, but I am interested into knowing what he actually did and what he was talking to his wife about that could get William Strutter into jail or even worse or something. So let's move on to Rachel's storyline this episode. Honestly, she didn't annoy me as much as she did last episode where she was trying to prove herself. I mean, she did kind of try to do it a bit this episode, but not as much, because she got shot down by that prison guy. I love that he came in smiling and he's like, "Hello, my knight and shaman in armor." And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I have to drop your case. My professor said it's not a viable case. I'm sorry, we only need DNA proof." "What did you say? You said you'd help me. You said you'd do it." And she's like, "My boyfriend's in prison. I'm sorry. You must know how I feel." "How long is he in prison for?" "Only 2 years." "Only 2 years? Try an entire life sentence. What would you do for him?" "I would do anything to get him out. I wouldn't give up." "Then why are you giving up on me?" I love that entire interaction, because the couple last episodes, like, I like Rachel as a character in all the previous seasons, but I feel like without Mike, she doesn't work as well as she does independently. She works better as a unit with Mike, Harvey, or with Donna, but when she does this, she's not that good. And I like that the guy put her down a bit, and now wanted to get the case on pro bono, and she wanted to talk to Jessica about taking it. I like how Jessica, maybe later she did decide to take the case because emotionally she felt obligated, but I like the reasoning she gave. Right now, when you Google our firm, they see that we hired a fraud. I want them to see that we helped free the innocent man. Now going to Lewis, last 2-3 episodes have been hilarious with Lewis, but this episode was so-so, and they didn't give him that much time. Plus, I see the interaction he had with Donna, and it was okay. It wasn't anything special, but I think that was the theme of this episode. Like, it wasn't an amazing episode like the last couple of episodes, but it was a good enough episode where it was setting up things for later on. So guys, I don't really have anything much to complain about with this episode. It was a really good, solid episode. I'm really looking forward to how they get William Strutter and how Mike deals with getting Kevin to confess to him. That all will be really interesting. So guys, stay up to date with all of our videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.